The WWC, what the world is watching.
T11s keep marching forward. But is this really the best place to spend your money? Let's get into it.
600 plus days of last war grinding, battles fought, lessons learned, strategies mastered. When we talk, you level up. Welcome to the War Zone Wrecking Crew.
Welcome everybody to the WWC QB18 here with another T11 update. Just keep information and items just keep pouring in regards to the T11 that's useful to share. So let's get into this. First, one of the things that we're seeing is constant rewards coming in for the T11. So as I expected when I made the calm down video in my second update, I think we're going to continue to get little by little pieces to collect for free. So I don't think necessarily this is going to be a problem for building these for free to play or low spenders. It will take a little time. I don't think as long as you think, but we'll get into that. So here you have how much we're getting, and also don't forget the campaign medals are still coming in as expected. They said we were going to get more, and so far we're seeing them aplenty come in. So I'm just continuing to collect this. Another thing to point out, just a reminder that the power number here coincides with trying to beat the boss, and here's the boss's power. So this is 12,404, and I need to get to 12,409. In order to do that, I need to update my equipment, which will make it stronger, and then I'll be able to beat this. So that is one of the things that's mainly driving whether people are able to make it far or not in the equipment is money. No, it's not money. It's not. You would think because I'm buying, this is why people are able to do it. Now, I'm able to make it as far as I am because I was spending as much as I am. But money isn't the sole driver of what people are able to do. And I'm going to give you a great example of this. So let's take a look at where everybody is here from a standings perspective. And you can see that I'm still holding the top spot. I'm actually 1% higher than Hulk. And for those of you just tuning in from our server, I am nowhere near Hulk from a total hero power perspective. So Hulk is 384 million and I'm 238. But even though there's 150 million difference, this isn't what's deciding whether I'm getting my T11s, right? So what's deciding it is this count right here. Now, Hulk's count, I believe, is 3196 or 98. He is 6 or 8 ahead of me for this mark size count. Now, we got into this a little bit yesterday of what drives the mark count, and I'm going to get into that in a minute as well. But what I really wanted to focus on was what everybody looks like with how much they are spending. So let's take a look at some of the information from yesterday and today. So as you can see here, this is the what replaced Tuesday's, what was that? I believe like a building, what was it? RSS, I think you can buy RSS for buildings and stuff. So now what we saw yesterday was RSS chests, and what was added to that was the armaments, materials got added as well as the cores. So you can pay. So it starts, I believe, at $5, then it goes to 10, our usual weekly store upgrades where it goes to 10 and 20 and 50 and 100, right? So for myself, I took some screenshots of every level of spending for you. So here I am sitting here from $400 spent. And I am, as we looked at before, 3% into the glove. 3% here, and that's because of my mark size. Pay attention to this mark size as we get into this, because I am 3191, okay? Now, here's where it gets interesting. As you look at Ramp, his mark count here is 3173, right? And so he's $5 spent. So let's go back real quick and take a look at the rankings here of where people are. So here we look, and Ramp is sitting at 325. Oh, sorry, I think he was. Ramp is at 326. And let's not forget, Ramp only spent $5 to get 326. So I'm at 346 is where I currently stand. And CDF's at 346, Hulk's at 345. So if he's 326, he's only 20 behind me and spent $5. Okay? And the important thing to show there is what I was reflecting on is his mark size. His mark size is so high, it's keeping him up without spending a lot of money. Now, it's going to take longer. That's indisputable. But as you can see, he's getting what he needs to get done without spending the money and staying up with all the training materials that they're giving. He's going at a good clip. And what I think in this area of getting training, we have to spend money, elites and everybody else, to keep up with this and to be able to fight in Season 5. Your top people need to be able to fight the top people. The top people in other servers are probably going to have T11s. So you're going to have to keep that up. But what I would say is right now for you, looking at things and spending that money wiser. So I recommend getting this count up because that's what's going to actually add power to your team. Everybody can uncover T11s, right? It's all about how you're spending your money. So don't spend it on T11s when you have other things to take care of to increase this count. So where can we increase this count? Let's talk about that. So first place is right here in your missile, your tank, or your air center. Right? You can increase the mark size. If you have not done this, then I would rather see you can spend the same amount of money, but you can spend it on speed ups or RSS to get this center up, right? If you're going to spend the money anyway, why hurry T11s on a weak base when you can actually use that money to strengthen your base? So go after the tank center and actually pick that up. That would be one of the recommendations there for me, right? Okay, second thing I would do is when you come over to your tech center, where is your masteries at? Because your mastery has also hero mark sizes. So you could take your number 1 squad and whatever that is, whether it be air or tank, focus on that and pick up your mark sizes because that's going to make getting those T11s faster. Okay. Then we have the survivor. So Shirley is a mark size of 10 plus. So you can raise your mark size by getting Shirley as well. This would make you stronger, and this would put you, and spending that money in T11 to hurry that up is not making you stronger. That's just making it faster for you to get T11s. This is going to make you stronger in the game. So therefore, your money is better spent. So go ahead and get Shirley, and Shirley can be found again in the VIP. You can come into the VIP, and you can go ahead and get Shirley down here and get her to 1-star, 2-star, 3-star. You can max out at 10 plus 10 for the grouping, but just as you do it, you'll add more to your group size. And then also Gorilla. So Gorilla will give you a bigger mark size right here. So as you upgrade the bond rating, which I continue to say is what really matters with the Gorilla. People keep saying the Gorilla's weak, the Gorilla's not whatever. Well, what is your bond rating at? Because if your bond rating isn't large, then that is probably why your Gorilla is weaker. So I would say increase that right here, okay? So that would be what I would say of a better place to spend your money instead of chasing after T11 just to do them. Because if you have if this count is low, you need to help your team out by raising this count and mark size higher to make your squad stronger, not get T11s in a hurry. So my advice would be stop spending money here and start spending money elsewhere. Now, if you're not spending money as well, we can go back to our example. Ramp has only spent $5 and he is 52% on the helmet. So imagine if he put any money into it, he would be considerably further along because of his mark size being so high. He could be around where I am or very close to it. But he doesn't need to because he's moving along at a decent clip. I mean, he's halfway through the helmet and we'll continue to watch this progress as we move forward. Let's look at some other folks who were spending money. So here we see here $31.17 for Killer DNA. Spend $15. He is also 51%. Then we can look at Brockfest. Brockfest is here at $15 spent, $30.83. He is 40% through the helmet. He's spent $15, $30.83 there. So he's in pretty good shape. Chunky, 36% on armor. This will show you he's 36% on armor. He's almost halfway through the armor. He spent $200. Now, obviously, the euros, but still, around 200 is what he did. So I'm not exactly sure the conversion rate, but 3065 was his troop count. So he was able, if he upped this, he would be very high, even base 200. He just needs to spend more to upgrade this. Pasta is 3071. He's 36% through the glove. Walrus is 30%. Now, Walrus, for an experiment for us, he looked and took it from, he wasn't spending any money and he was 30%, so he wanted to see how far he could get from the helmet. I keep saying glove, my bad. 30% from the helmet here, and he spent $15 just for the sake of research. Thank you, Walrus, just to show. And he went from 30% to 44% on this. Now, I will tell you, if he instead focuses on building this count out, he'll be able to increase that for free. So that's really where we should be spending our time. HSB was $29.78, and he was like 26% on the helmet. Sir Dialot is 25% for the helmet. He's $28.97. So this just shows you the range of where people can be. Okay, what can we take away from this now? So, like, one of the things that we heard coming in is you only needed barracks 35, headquarters 35 before these T11 troops dropped. My advice to you would be you actually need to do your troop count, and you need those. You need to work on your centers and your mastery and get that up. And that's where the more time is spent. We don't even know yet. These T11s haven't been released for me to test these things out to show you the difference with an elite squad or a whale squad versus what you're going to use them for. To even show that they're absolutely necessary. So I would spend the money. I would spend the development and just chip away at these things slowly. For those of you that are coming up that haven't had the T11 release, I think this shows you what you need to work on. You need to get that mark size up, knowing that T11s are right around the corner. If you're just starting the game, know the impact of that mark size. I've been saying this for a while. There's very few things in the game that'll lift that mark size, and that's why I always like the Survivor Shirley to lift that mark size. And I also like in the season store, if you watch my season store video early on, I will also recommend to you to get the God of Judgment for that exact reason. This God of Judgment is really the only deco I like looking at, by the way. But also the mark size is one of the rare places to lift the mark size up. And I think that's all proving out to be true now if you look back at those videos. So if you're wondering where you get the mark size and you haven't had T11s, if you have T11s released and you know your mark size is right here for your top team, it's 3191. If you haven't had your mark size yet, what you can do is just go into any of the battle report that you had with somebody else, and we'll go take a look at ones that I have, and I can show you real quick where that mark size is. So, mark size for my top team, an Army tab. You can go down and see in combat details, the quantity is listed right here, right? And you can see the comparison of my weaker team that I have not developed in tank, where my squad size for tank would be quantity 2167. So you can see the difference between a strong team and a team that's not as strong right there as proof positive of what works, okay? With that, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for subscribing. Thank you for their kind comments and for joining the Discord. It means the world to me. We will talk soon. QB18 out.